Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Exactly the place where sports comes to life. Welcome into the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Be easy.
Be easy, you feel me?
What up, though?
It's Be Easy, man. I'm feeling good, man. What up?
I like the drip.
You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited. You know, I'm going to a Pistons game tonight. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons, my guy George David, making it happen. They're playing against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets as I welcome in my guy in the audio booth, Sweet Potato. What's going on there, Cam?
What's happening, y'all? Life is great. Life is good. Red Wings coming off a big win. Woke up on the right side of the grass. We good, Bray.
See, you didn't wake up on the right side of the grass. You woke up, Cam.
That's right.
You woke up. Just leave it there. You woke up, my brother.
Up.
We in the building. We're feeling good, man. So God is good. We're here. You're absolutely right. It was a major win last night. My guy, Matt Shepard, is excited to talk about that, as am I, because he has feelings about this game. I think he might be exactly right with his thoughts about those games. But
well, the Pistons are going to win tonight because you're going.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you, man.
already
You know
know.
I'm undefeated when I go to the Pistons game, so I'm very excited about
Well,
tonight.
that would be a big one because considering Denver, right? I mean, third team in the West right now. Jokic back last two games.
29 minutes
This
each
could
game.
be a I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a telling game for Detroit. I think they've had plenty of those and passed the test, but it's always nice to measure yourself against somebody like that.
I will say this. Yes, this is not a test of that, but this is a real playoff atmosphere vibe, if you will, real competitive vibe, real individual that you don't get often see. A lot of times when Jokic comes to Detroit, he doesn't necessarily play. And I'm actually excited.
Matchup.
I was just about to say it's an MVP marquee matchup. It's a teams that could see each other maybe in the finals, depending on how they play in the playoffs. But I'm excited because last time that I went to see Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets play, I was excited. I said, let me see this guy that they talk about. This is the walking triple-double. Not named Russell Westbrook. This is the guy. This is the man. This is the myth, the legend. This is the Nuggets. They're this, they're that. Well, this is before Detroit became who they are. And you know how people used to treat the Detroit Pistons when you come into town. You'll find that 5-minute mark and get yourself tossed out of the game. So last time I came and saw Nikola Jokic play, he got tossed out on purpose so he didn't have to play against the Pistons.
that game.
You remember that game?
I remember that one.
Thank you. It was 2 years ago. It was the last time I went.
I think they still lost, the Pistons.
Pistons did lose.
Yep, I
I
remember
wanted
that
him, but I went to that game, went to see Nikola. He didn't play. He got tossed out, so I was pissed. But now my team's better. And
Wait,
also
was
my
that
team
during
has
that-
an MVP candidate.
Was that during that 28-game losing streak?
You know what's crazy about
why
that?
would he get? Why would he not want to play the Pistons?
You know what's so crazy, Shep, is I don't remember because that never happened.
Oh yeah,
It never
That's
happened.
so far gone. What's the point of even thinking about
The
it?
Pistons are number one.
Yeah, I
Kate
think,
Cunningham's number one.
I would
according
say.
to Kool-Aid.
I would say. Well, yeah. I would say this.
Yeah.
Are they? I think now they are being discussed as the best team in basketball. No longer the best team in the Eastern Conference. No longer the best team in the Central Division.
Best
They
record
are now
since November.
being discussed as the number. Now these power rankings change. We saw it. With the Tigers all year. We saw it with the Lions in the first half of the year. But this is deeper into a season, and you've got a much bigger resume. It's part of the reason why I bristle at the thought of, well, the Pistons really haven't shown us that they can win a playoff series yet. Who cares?
Yeah.
Why is that so important when this team's different than last year? In order for you to be convinced they can win a playoff series, they first have to win a playoff series from last year? I don't think so.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you. I would disagree with the one side of it, though, is what the Tigers did. The difference is when the Tigers were number one all last season until they eventually fell off before the All-Star break, nobody truly believed in the baseball world. The analysts, they didn't believe the Tigers were the number one team in baseball. They believed they had the number one record in baseball. I think with this basketball team, we waited. And that's why sometimes it's good to get the outside feel, too. Because, yeah, we're local. This is our team. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch with a keen eye. but we're still in Detroit. We're like, yeah, this team's number one. They deserve it. Sometimes when you get that outside eye and they're watching the whole around and you see it, say, okay, man, this team deserves to be here. This team actually is going to get it done. What's up, boy?
Yeah, here's the thing that I would look for. I know this sounds weird. I want to hear what Denver has to say in pregame. And the reason I say that is because if this is a big game for the Pistons, which we all think it is,
yeah,
how big is it for Denver? If it's a measuring stick game for the Pistons, maybe it's a measuring stick game for Denver, too. It's not too dissimilar from what the Red Wings did last night. That's a measuring stick game against the best team in hockey that had only lost 2 games in regulation at home, hadn't been shut out in 87 games, has one of the best players in the world, and is arguably the best team in the world. And what did Detroit do? They go in, and they shut them out, 2-0. They hadn't been shut out all season long. So that was a marquee win for the Wings. I don't know what it felt like for Colorado, but I'll guarantee you it was a quality win. The Pistons look at this game not too dissimilar from how the Nuggets are looking at the Pistons would be my guess.
Yeah, 100%. I had stats about the Red Wings. I guess I could share them now as I'm looking at your comparison. It's very true. It's very true. Because what the Denver Nuggets are looking at is this is a team we have to take serious. This is a team based on what the East looks like. If we're planning on going through OKC, which is what you have to get through in the West, this is particularly a team that we're going to see in the finals. And the fact that that's a particular, close that door if you will, and that fact that that's a particular, let's see what they are now.
Yeah,
let's see what they're made of
man.
now. Let's see what this team is about. Let's run our guys against their guys. Let's play. Let's come out, see what we can do. Jokic, we're not going to kill you.
Right.
We're not going to let you play 36, 38, 40. We'll give you your standard 25 to 29, but we want you to bring it.
Yeah.
We want you to be the big dog out there and see what you can do because this team, as everybody finally now understands what Kool-Aid and Shepard have been saying, this team is for real.
Yeah, and Denver, no doubt, probably looks at it in a couple of different areas, and I don't blame them. But look, it's OKC, it's San Antonio ahead of us. Perhaps it's Minnesota if they make a move for Giannis Antetokounmpo, somebody alone. Maybe it's Houston. So we've got a tough road. But what they are saying right now, I'll guarantee you, most markets are going, that team in the East is all, in all likelihood, is coming from the Motor City. Now, there are New York slappies who will constantly tell you that the Knicks are coming together, and that team is really the threat in the East. It's not.
They're not.
It's Detroit.
They're not 100%. Look, we'll get to some basketball later in the show. There was a great win last night, which you alluded to. Shep, why don't you go ahead and talk about what that was for the Detroit Red Wings? I mean, coming against the Colorado Avalanche, where they haven't beat them in regulation since 2017. They haven't beaten them in Colorado since 2016.
Yeah.
They haven't shut them out Lord knows how long. Can I just tell you what I believe was my favorite part of the game and what it got going, and I'll let you rock and roll.
Okay, go ahead.
So, obviously, we know the goal comes 33 seconds in. Yeah. Nice little assist. Boom. Casper knocks it in. 33 seconds. We're at 1-0. They won the faceoff. They got the ball. I mean, they got the puck down in scoring position. They attempted a goal on Gibson early in the game. What's he been doing? You said that's the measure of the Red Wings. You want to see the goal stop. And what's the goalie going to be for them moving forward? He gets the stop, and then they go down and they score. I think the stop led to the score, which led to we came with something to prove.
Yeah, I agree. I saw it Saturday. You saw how much better Colorado was than Detroit. You saw why they are considered the best team in the world right now because of their speed, because of their depth, because of their constant ozone pressure. I'm a little surprised their power play sucks, but it does. What they did last night, what Detroit does last night on that very first shift, they break out in the 2-on-1. Cale Makar plays it the right way.
Yeah.
He's the best defenseman in the world. The little feed from Raymond through his legs and Casper, I think it's his third goal in the last 9 games, to slap it home had to be a massive release for this team just because they were heavily outplayed against Colorado at home. I think Colorado, for the most part, outplayed them last night. I think Gibson was a difference, his 4th shutout of the year, 28th of his career. And I think he has given this team, it's not too different than what the Pistons. And the Pistons have Cade Cunningham on the floor. You can tell there's a confidence there. There's a different swagger about them. The Wings with Gibson and net, I feel the same way. It's not that they're not afraid to make a mistake. It's just
take
that
more risk, maybe.
It's just that, okay, there's not as much panic in the D zone where, oh, my God, I got to get to it along the wall. I got to sweep it out as fast as possible, and then suddenly it's icing. They can afford have Gibson there. He handles the puck well in the trapezoid. I think they do a really good job in that regard of being patient even in their own zone. And that's a tough thing to do in hockey against a really talented Colorado team that is playing heavy on the puck and is constantly pushing with their time of possession.
Red Wings have one more match before the break.
Utah tomorrow.
100%. What do the Red Wings need to achieve in this? Obviously a win, but what would you like to see?
Yeah, I think they're in a really good spot. I mean, Buffalo won again last night, so Tage Thompson and the Sabres are unbelievable right now. I think they're unbeaten in 8 of their last 10. Detroit down 2 points to Tampa. You're in a playoff spot as you go to the Olympic break, which is great. But I'm telling you right now, what they need is they need another defenseman. Because as much as I like Ben Sherratt, not on that top line with Mo Seider. Mo Seider played 27 and a half minutes last night. Cale Makar played 24 and a half. That tells you something. That's why Mo Seider's a Norris Trophy candidate for sure. They need somebody to help him. Thank goodness Edvinsson is expected to come back after the Olympic break, but you still need somebody on that second line. And I would hope they would make a move for some type of offensive threat, because you can see that a little bit too. Like Michael Rasmussen, okay, thank you. Have a good day. Okay, can we get somebody in there that pushes?
It's like twice this week.
Yeah,
I've heard you say that.
Yeah. I mean, let's.
And
it's only Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. So yeah, I mean that's what I think. That's what they're looking for. B. I mean, I think that team's gonna. I think they should be aggressive, and I think they will be aggressive at the trade deadline.
I think you and I are in agreement that they need a defenseman, whether Edvinsson got hurt or not.
Agreed.
Now that you've seen Edvinsson get hurt, now that they've won a game though, lost 3, they won 1, one more. We assume they'll win that. Let's say split now it's 2-3. What does that defenseman look like? What tier is that defenseman? What cost is that defenseman? What are we giving up for that defenseman? It's the same Pistons conversation. Is it a bigger deal or is it just a little one?
Right. I think the deal with the Pistons is you're taking somebody from your roster, where with the Red Wings they may not be on that roster. They may be in Grand Rapids. It may be a Nate Danielson, for example. I'm just bringing up a name. Obviously, it depends on who you're getting. Are you getting a Justin Falk? Are you getting somebody who's a big, heavy defenseman with a right-handed shot? What exactly is Steve Yzerman looking for? I mean, that's what I would do. That's what I'd be looking for. But he's forgotten more hockey in one day than I've known. So I don't know, but I just think a right-handed shooting defenseman would be the ideal situation for him.
How much do you believe in this team? I know this is like the one-on-one interview with Shepard about this current Red Wings team, but interested, intrigued. How much do you believe in this team as currently constructed today?
Yeah, I believe in them because I think their top 6 are better. I think Van Riemsdyk helps them in that regard. He's heavier on the puck. He plays tough in the low slot, so I think that's better. So I like that about them a lot. I worry about the depth of scoring on the third and fourth lines for sure. And it'd be crazy not to be a little concerned about where the conference and what the division is. Carolina's really good. Tampa's really good. Buffalo's proven to be pretty damn good. Boston is charging hard. Montreal is good. Ottawa's charging. It is such a fine line. You lose 3 games like Detroit did. You lose 3 games in a row. Suddenly, not only are you leapfrogged by another team, but 2 other teams are nipping at your heels. So I don't know if that's a good feeling because you would know this. You're playing playoff hockey all the way down the stretch, similar to what the Tigers have told us before. Last year, playing playoff baseball down the stretch. 2 years ago, playing playoff baseball down the stretch. So I don't know how much that takes out of them, B, but I'm sure it can't be necessarily a bad thing when you've got that mindset and you're feeling like you got to win every single night.
Yeah, when you're playing that playoff level sport down that stretch, doesn't matter what the sport is, man. Like legitimately, everything is tougher. The mental is tougher. The physical is tougher. It's more taxing. It takes more time. You need more time to rest. And just speaking of that playoff that you're talking about down the stretch, once they get back from break, the Red Wings, looking at the schedule, they have this. Where is it at? They have They have the Senators, Hurricanes, Predators, Golden Knights, and Panthers. That would be the next 5.
Yeah, so I mean,
so they get right back into it.
Yeah, they get right back into it. There's not much of a breather there. Las Vegas is tough as always. Florida's the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion.
Florida twice in 3 games too.
Okay, well that is going to be tough.
Panthers,
you want the
Devils,
smoke?
Panthers.
There you go. And then of course Carolina's really big,
Yeah.
okay, and they're really heavy. But Detroit beat them earlier this year. So I mean, that's the exciting part of this, right? The exciting part of all of this is down the stretch, unlike football, where you can see kind of a path and you get 1 week to prep, and you're looking at a team that, okay, we can slide by this team. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. You don't know in hockey. You just don't. There's no way people in Denver thought last night that they were A, going to lose, and B, get shut out by a Detroit team with John Gibson in net. But John Gibson's been arguably the best goalie since early December. That's what one guy can do. One guy makes a huge difference in hockey. That's what makes it unique, and that's what pushes you to the edge of your seat on a regular basis in the playoffs, because you feel like you got to score on every single scoring chance, and there's one guy denying you, and if he gets in a rhythm and he gets hot, similar to what Patrick Waugh has experienced, Marty Brodeur, Dominik Hasek, the greats have, holy crap, you feel like you missed an opportunity. That's why you see upsets a lot.
Yeah. Speaking of upsets and speaking of excitement, this is a great segue. The Super Bowl is this week.
I know.
The Super Bowl is this week, and
crazy.
there's absolutely no excitement. No one seems to
Why
care.
is that?
There is no parties going on. I haven't been invited to anything. Maybe people don't like me. I mean, maybe that's what that is. But just not hearing about anything.
I doubt that.
I think it's the two teams that lost in the conference championships. If those teams are in it, or if one of those teams is in it, I think this is a completely different energy level as it relates to the Super Bowl. Right now, the conversation is about one quarterback that's in year 2 and a team that was terrible last year, and the other conversation is a quarterback that, we thought this guy fizzled out and wouldn't even be in contention to be a starter, let alone in the Super Bowl, and that's Sam Darnold and Drake May. Like, I just don't think people thought that this would be the Super Bowl.
Does that mean you can't be excited about it, do you think?
See, we're different. We like sport. We like parody. We like the conversation. I like the storyline. I like Vrabel versus McDonald. I like Drake May versus Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was told this. He was a ginger. He
I like two
enough.
really good defenses.
I like the defensive aspect. I slipped a ginger joke in there. You know what I'm saying? It sped
I was trying to help you.
No. 100%. Gingers are on the premise at all times. But realistically, I love all that. But not everybody else does. The majority of the people, they care about stats. They care about fantasy. They care about the numbers. They care about the popularity and the players and the people that they know. You look at this, it's like, well, you got Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you got Drake May.
Well, if you're looking at stats, though, I mean, should you not be looking, or at least notoriety?
Yeah,
You've got two coaches. One coach specifically is in, the battle for Coach of the Year. You've got an MVP candidate. 2 Offensive Players of the Year candidates. You've got a comeback player of the year who was a candidate from a year ago. And you've got a dynamic running back in Seattle, and you could argue maybe a 2-headed monster there in New England as well. On top of that, 2 of the best defenses in football, and 2, I don't want to say storied programs, but New England's got a rich history. Yeah. Seattle's got Super Bowl. I'm a little confused. You're right. We love football. We love sports. We love the various side stories that are associated with it as well. I don't know what people truly want.
They want the Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts. They want the Eagles versus, even though as much as they say they don't, they want the bigger names, the Kelsey who's dating Taylor Swift, right? With Patrick Mahomes, who's considered one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He's the heir apparent to Tom Brady. You look at the Eagles and it's Jalen Hurts. We don't like him necessarily, but we love the running back for 2,000 yards and the defensive players that have all gone first round, all seem to be out of Georgia. I think it's that. When you look at the Rams, let's say they would have made it. Well, here's Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's probably going to win the MVP. He's the best quarterback this year. You got Puka Nacua, who's probably the best wide receiver in the league.
Devontae Adams.
You got Devontae Adams. Then you have Kyron Williams, in the backfield with Blake Corum. I just think that excites people more than Seattle, where you're telling them a story about a quarterback that overcame his first 7-8 years in the league. He got with the wrong head coaches. He got the wrong offensive coordinators. He got with bad teams. And so now he had to buy his time. That quarterback got kicked out of Minnesota last year. And that's how people that don't follow the sport look at it. He wasn't even good enough to stay in Minnesota.
Right.
And then you look at the Patriots. It's like, let's say it's the Patriots. There's nothing special about them. That's how people feel.
It's really too bad because, I mean, if you dig deep and you see some of the storylines that are associated with this game, it makes it pretty special, man. I'm really excited about I think the thing I hate about Super Bowl week is the constant or the constant dumb questions to the players. Look, I'm sure as a player, in the 8 years you played in the NFL, How many times were you just going, oh, my God, here we go again with some of the dumb themes? Just before the conference championship game between the Seahawks and the Rams, just about every member of the Seahawks was asked about Sam Darnold. And they defended him, and they stood by him as a strong teammate and so on and so forth, which I think is great. Now, Super Bowl week, yesterday, what was the theme or what was the direction of the questions?
Does Sam have to win to be elite?
Yeah, it was all about Sam Darnold. It's, I get where sometimes writers go.
Yeah.
But if you're one of those players, don't you have just the temptation of going, guys, I answered these questions last week, and you're asking them again? Can somebody come up with a good question?
I think it's lazy, but at the same time, like, this is what we're here for. Like, Shep, when's the last time a quarterback was ushered out of a place just to then take his next team to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't know. Jim Plunkett, way back in the day, that's a long time ago.
Okay.
I don't know.
And that right, I guarantee you, the reporters are doing the same thing. Like, when you get kicked, like, when the team tells you, the Minnesota Vikings, which is why Adolfo Mensa was fired, but when the team tells you, you know what, we're better off with J.J. McCarthy. We're better off with, Brosmer. We're better off with whoever we're going to bring in to replace you. You figure it out. And then you figure it out with a team that then beats that team too, by the way. And then you go to the Super Bowl. Like, that's tough. Like, that's a hell of a story.
It is. I know. I don't disagree with it. And, it's not like we're big Sam Darnold fans.
What questions would you ask? Like,
what would I ask other members of Seattle?
What would you?
So one of my favorite questions that I ask championship teams or teams that are en route to a championship is, when did you recognize? Like, when did you realize this team had something special? What took place, and how did you recognize it? That's what I want to hear, a little bit of something like that. If I'm looking into a storyline.
Right.
Eventually, you're going to get to, this week, the matchup with New England. How are you going to defend Drake May and things of that nature? But knowing certain guys have never been there, how do you calm your nerves, right? How do you make sure this is just another game? What are some things that you would want asked of you if you were playing in a game like this?
Leave me alone. Like, I'm really trying to get ready for this game. Like, in terms of want to ask, I don't know what questions I would want to be asked. I would probably be answering as many questions as I can so that I can get back and think about this game and what it would be. But from the other side, I would want to ask something that's interesting. I would want to ask something that hadn't been done before, something that people would tune into. And maybe they would, check my clip out online or check out my feed, if you will. So be like, hey, when did you guys know? I'm like, I got to find a version of that that's a little bit more exciting. I mean, add some more minutia. What I'm looking at. If I'm talking Seattle, I don't know, Sam Darnold, like, what were your thoughts when you were walking out of the door?
Yeah.
Of Minnesota.
Of Minnesota, right.
Like, maybe take it back to that. Like, what were your thoughts when you found out Sam Darnold was going to be your quarterback?
Or ask Mike McDonald, what made you think
that
moving on from Geno Smith a year ago and getting a guy like Sam Darnold on a relatively short-term deal, a 3-year contract, that you could reach this point?
And that's the thing about the Geno Smith thing. This is why I give John Snyder a lot of credit.
Yeah.
He asked to leave. So it wasn't a situation like John Snyder was like, we're getting rid of Geno Smith, we're going to get Sam Darnold. It was like Geno Smith said, hey, I don't want to be here anymore. And they were scrambling like, oh, shoot, what are we going to do now? So then they had to make a move and go get Sam Darnold. I want to talk to John, like, what does that panic look and how does it look now? To go from panicking about losing Geno Smith to having a quarterback that is an offensive player of the year and has you in the Super Bowl. What shift was that?
And all the while, they drafted Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, he'd be wide receiver.
Huh?
He'll be a wide receiver for us all said and done.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, and I don't say that to diminish what he did at the quarterback position, but I saw enough of him at quarterback. Like, if he wants to last in this league, it's not at quarterback. It's not like Malik Willis, who plays for Green Bay. Like, I saw enough of him at Liberty to say he's a quarterback. Now, he's not going to be first rounder.
Yeah.
But he can be a backup quarterback in this league. Jalen Milroe, I just don't see it yet.
Somebody asked me this morning.
Like Anthony Richardson.
I found it kind of interesting. Anytime you talk about football, eventually, I think in Detroit, the conversation steers toward the Lions. And then the conversation bounces from Lions to Goff, whether you like it or not. And they said, I don't know why the Lions haven't drafted more quarterbacks. And my response was, if you get a franchise quarterback, how many backup quarterbacks do you want to draft? And this person said, I would draft a quarterback every year. I said, you'd waste a draft pick, and you would waste the public saying to you as a general manager, you have no idea what you're doing. You're so bad that you have to draft a quarterback every year. Who scouts these guys? How in the world can you waste a draft pick, and so on and so forth? I don't know what the answer to that is, okay? I think Jared Goff is a guy who can eventually get this team to a Super Bowl. But when you look at really great teams, everybody uses Green Bay, for example. How many quarterbacks are they really drafting? They're nurturing. They know when to draft the right guy at the right time, let him sit for a while. But a lot depends on what you have around the other guys. They sure as hell can't draft wide receivers, right? So my point was, I don't understand why people like Sam Darnold. Seattle didn't draft Sam Darnold.
No.
Seattle brings Sam Darnold in. There are different
he got
ways.
drafted 6 teams ago.
Yeah. There are ways you can add to your roster and add to a Super Bowl team without necessarily investing in the NFL draft per se.
My former GM, Mike Tannenbaum, who's on ESPN from time to time, he always says that, hey, if I was a guy, I would draft a quarterback every single year. When I was at Green Bay, he's saying Green Bay, they draft a quarterback every year, and you look back, a lot of that is factual. I don't know if I would, but at the same time, when you look at what Brad Holmes has done as it relates to experimental moves, like you could have taken a quarterback each year. You know what I'm saying? In the last 4 years, I don't know if it does you any good, but a lot of these quarterbacks that back up, they come from the 6th round, the 5th round, the 7th round. So if there's one in there that you feel the need to, that you see, that you scouted, that you paid attention to, then maybe that's what it is. As it relates to the Lions and the QB position and Jared Goff, it's always come back to the QB position with the Detroit Lions because we've never really had that many.
Correct.
Like we got Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, and you have to go way back. The 80s is full.
There's nobody worth a damn.
There you go. The 90s is full of,
Don't you dare give me Joey Harrington.
Exactly.
Okay.
I won't.
Right.
So that's why the conversation, the Lions, they love the Lions. We don't love any other team. And they love the quarterback position because we haven't necessarily had one until, the last 2.
Breaking news. Hold on to your Pistons hats. Jaden Ivey was just traded to the Chicago Bulls. So Shams just reported
For
Chicago, Minnesota, and Detroit have agreed to a multi-team deal that sends Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley Jr. to the Bulls, Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric to the Pistons. Sources tell ESPN. Detroit does receive a 2026 first-round protected swap pick from the Minnesota Timberwolves. So if you're trading Ivy, I don't know if that's quite what people had in mind, if Ivy was going to be traded. But, wow, I wonder if there's more to come.
Kevin Huerter's your shooter.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break and then get back into this in a second. Because obviously, I know this is the conversation. Let's do this. Talk about Ben Johnson.
That's crazy.
Let's get back into it, man.
Good stuff,
Detroit
though,
Pistons.
Kool-Aid.
Hey, there we go.
All right. Wow, goodness.
There we go.
It's starting.
It is, but it's good news, though. These are moves being made.
starting.
Multiple decisions coming to the Pistons. I like it.
I
Ben
knew they were gonna be
Johnson
involved in that.
Law. Let the fighter fight for you. Ben Johnson Law. When something happens to you, make Ben Johnson the very first call you make. BeInFights.com. He's a fighter, and he's been doing it for a very long time at a very high rate. It doesn't matter if it's a settlement or verdict. They want all the smoke. So bring it his way. Let Ben Johnson Law represent you today.
Hey, no man. Woodward Sports is bringing you round 2 of the Michigan State Hoops Watch Party, Saturday, March 8th at Art and Jake's in Northville. That's Saturday, March 8th. If you're a Spartan fan, wear your green and white. If you're a Maize and Blue fan, wear your Michigan gear. Round 2 should be just as exciting as the first. It's Art and Jake's in Northville, March 8th, and Woodward Sports.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep,
Do you believe this comeback?
your favorite sports commentator, as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Big news at Planet Fitness. All members receive their first month free. Let me repeat that. All members receive their first month free. Deal ends Friday, February 13th, one day before Valentine's Day. In 2026, Planet Fitness is inviting everyone, whether experienced, routine gym goers, or beginners, just starting their fitness journeys. We want you all to come down to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Over 2,800 clubs nationwide, with 50 plus just here in Metro Detroit, 20 plus in the West Michigan, and 7 in Toledo. Check this out, man. Planet Fitness does it the right way. Gym squeaky clean, trainers on deck. Check, check. We're all strong on this planet, and that planet is Planet Fitness.
Pistons have traded. Sun Cruiser, yeah. Sorry, I was going to say, Pistons have traded Jaden Ivey. We'll get to that here in a moment.
Sun Cruiser.
Hey, that's a
gonna
good value.
He's going to take some Sun Cruiser vodka
Sun
iced tea
Cruiser
with
would be
him.
really
I promise
good
you that.
value.
Why? Because it's real vodka, it's real iced tea, and it's not going to weigh him down. It will not weigh Jaden Ivey down. It's 100 calories. That's it. Okay? It's clean. It's crisp. It's really good. And as always, whether it's Jaden Ivey drinking Sun Cruiser or us, we're always going to drink responsibly. All right, let's talk about this a little bit here, because this is the news. This is the big deal, right? I know it's Super Bowl week, and I know Wings had a big win last night, but this is the big news. Am I wrong in thinking that Jaden Ivey, who was a high draft pick a few years ago, would have garnered more than what Detroit got for him, and Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric?
I feel like this might be more of an indictment on maybe Ivey's value. I know the Ivy we saw and the Ivy we thought he could be and what we thought we could get in a trade, but I'm wondering if this is more or less akin to what Ivy's value is now after the unfortunate injury about a year ago.
Well, so I thought they would get more than Kevin Huerter.
I did too.
Who's averaging about 2.5 3-pointers a game and about 10 points per game. What it tells me is that they're, at least right now, they're really happy with their starting unit. Yes, I said unit. Okay. So this is because Kevin Huerter's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Dario Saric, I'm not sure. He's been hurt, so he hasn't played a lot. So that could be just we got to trade for contracts, and he could be gone. I don't know where he would help them. So it tells me that they like their starting unit right now, and that they want scoring coming off the bench in the form of Kevin Huerter and a 3-point shooter. That's all I can read into it right now.
Yeah, I mean, the more information you have, the more information that we get, we'll be able to present more. But that was the first thing I was thinking is what Kool-Aid said along the lines of, where Jaden Ivey was trade value last year before he got hurt versus this year watching him struggle to kind of implement himself, figure it out, and have a team that almost essentially looks like they don't have faith in this player. If I'm looking at that as another organization, then why am I going to trade you a main piece, or why am I going to give you some more value than I believe you believe that you deserve? So looking at it from that point, I would agree. And like you said, they do like their roster. They like what the starters look like. They like when Cade's out there. They like when Cade's not out there right now. They trust their 5 guys on the court. They want those role players for the playoffs, and they want those guys that have specific roles. They don't want guys coming in and figuring out, are you going to be here? Are you going to be here? Well, you can do a little bit of this or a little bit of that. Kind of like when Brad Holmes says we draft guys that are versatile. You can go over here, over there. Pistons don't need versatility. I think right now they're looking for specific guys. We need you to come in the game, and when you get in that game, sit in that corner, we give you the ball, we need you to knock that down. We need you to be here and there. So I think specifics are what they're looking for from their 6 to 10.
Yeah, if people are looking for who is Kevin Huerter, he's a three-point shooter.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a guy who's averaging 11 points per game, about 23.5 minutes per game. I don't think he's a high-volume shooter. So this will be interesting how they incorporate him, but maybe more interesting is wondering if there's another shoe to drop.
That's where my mind also goes to. I know the Pistons have been on record as saying that they weren't going to do anything too crazy or too impactful at this draft at this trade deadline because they do like their roster. But in the back of my mind, I know the trade deadline has not passed yet. I do wonder if there's a chance to do something else. But when you do look at the nuance of a Kevin Huerter, it's not going to be one of those names that just kind of, takes the top off. But if it's a guy that can kind of fit within the flow of this offense and knock down those open shots, my thing is Jaden Ivey was giving you those same couple threes per game at a decent clip. So I know that
he's also more burst worthy. Like Kevin Huerter is a floater. This is no disrespect. He's a floater along the perimeter primarily. Okay, every guy in the NBA can deck it and drive it for the most part,
but one-dimensional, less dimensional.
I would think so. Yeah, Ivy is more explosive. More entertaining. Not that we have to be entertained. We got wins entertain us.
This is true, and maybe that's not what they wanted though. A lot of times you have guys that can do more, and when guys can do more, but you don't need them to, those guys tend to try to do more.
Lower the usage.
100%. Then they're trying to do more. They're trying to add more value than the Pistons are actually asking them to. Like Jaden Ivey can go out there and try to be Jaden Ivey from Purdue, or he can go out there and try to be Jaden Ivey that was playing last year before he got hurt.
That's a good point.
That's not what we're asking you to do, Jaden Ivey. So as opposed to put him in the situation to not be a winning situation for him, we just got to get rid of it. It's one of those situations where, hey, look, we believe that you're going to be good down the road, but where we are right now and where you are right now, we just don't gel for where we're going.
Level of concern that you just gave up a 23-year-old?
Yeah.
Is that what he is?
Yeah,
23?
former number 5 overall.
Former number 5 overall. I know. The guy's only played like 60, 63 games the last 2 years. But a guy when healthy is about 18 points per game. Okay? 17 and a half, 18 points per game. You're getting a guy in return who is older, like I said, less explosive, and a guy who does not average those types of points. I mean, if you're looking for points, if you're looking for offense, this is a hard trade to swallow. The most he's ever scored is 15 in a season. So
yikes.
Yeah. He scored 15 points per game while a member with Sacramento in 2023.
That's not the power stat we want.
And he averaged
29.
He averaged 29 and a half minutes a game during that stretch. Okay, so look, we're not going to judge this just yet. It's unfair to do that.
Right.
But I would, if we're going to call what the Tigers did at the trade deadline underwhelming, and we're going to say something similar to that with the Lions, this is underwhelming for most Pistons fans, I would guess.
Okay.
As it stands right now, I would agree a little bit. Yeah.
Question: were either one of those teams, the Lions or Tigers, in the position that the Pistons are in now? And what I mean by that, Pistons are number 1 in the East, and as you said earlier, they're now getting called the number 1 team in the NBA. Were the Tigers ever that, in terms of where they were considered the best team in baseball currently? Were the Lions that? Or were they two teams that were like, we really need additions if we're going to get to our goal?
Yeah, I think the Tigers were. I mean, at the All-Star break or at the trade deadline, the Tigers were one of the best teams in the American League.
True, but how much?
And the American League was wide open.
But how many times did you come in here and had so much to say about what the Tigers needed, what was good? Like, they needed real moves. Like, even though they were number one, you didn't consider them to be the best team in baseball. You consider them. We consider them to have the best record in baseball. There's a difference.
But I wanted them to make moves because they had a chance, I thought, to win the American League. Right. So I wanted this team to make a move because I think they have a chance to win the East too. And I'm not saying this doesn't mean they can't win the East, but I think it's a fair comparison because, I mean, the Tigers make the right move. Yeah, we're talking about something different for them. Yeah. And because it was underwhelming, it failed. Yeah. This, even if it may be underwhelming, I don't think it's necessarily going to fail because they have better players to support this move than the Tigers had to support the lack of move that they made at the MLB trade deadline.
I think that's one of the questions I'm asking is, like, does this make you were nervous. We were nervous with the Lions as well as the Tigers when they didn't make news. Are we nervous now that the Pistons haven't made a move? Maybe is a better way to ask that question. Does this make you nervous about the playoffs and the last step?
No, but it doesn't necessarily convince me that they've done what they needed to do to be an NBA champion.
Okay. Fair.
Is that fair?
Very fair.
Everybody?
Yeah.
I mean, I know people don't like, Anson is with us. He doesn't like.
We can get him on here. You know, he's got something.
He doesn't like losing key pieces. Jaden Ivey, I mean, were they going to bring him in anyway? So that's the question.
That right there is a part of it too. When you talk about this, I remember a couple years ago when they had this collection of young talent, realizing these windows are coming up and they can't keep everybody. And unfortunately, it looks like for Jaden Ivey and the injury and the fit of this team this year, he just found himself kind of on the outside looking in. And I think Braylon was kind of preaching when you look at the effect of maybe addition by subtraction. Not that Jaden Ivey is bad for the Pistons, but did he fit with the Pistons? Is the current fit of the team right now something that you say, we can lock in this rotation and go? Maybe there's something to that. You know that Kevin Huerter needs a lot less usage to get his couple threes, but for me, I was looking for adding more dynamic to this team as it relates to scoring at three different levels.
Yeah, that's a good word,
being able to score off ball and handle the rock off ball, because I still believe we need that. But I can understand this trade. Now, I do believe Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric are expiring contracts too.
So you can understand the trade? You're telling me you can understand this trade now?
If I'm trying to believe that there's more to come, but if Jaden Ivey is outside of the rotation and they're not bringing him back, I can understand freeing yourself from that RFA hanging over your head in the offseason. Now you go into the offseason at this trade deadline with the ability to have kind of full flexibility from a cap standpoint.
I would say this: if he didn't fit in, he had a funny way of showing it at 36 and 12.
I liked Jaden Ivey here. I was one who was still bullish on him. Yeah. I wanted to see him work here, and if he was traded, I thought it should have been for a little bit more than what they got back. I'm trying to see the light in this. Now, me personally, if I'm the one sitting at the GM desk and I know that Trajan and Cole know a whole lot more than me, it's way smarter than me. That's why they got the job. Yeah. I don't know if I would have done this one, but again, if we're just in a vacuum, I would not give this one a passing grade as a trade. Now, if there's another shooter drop, like there was a lot of people who hated when we traded Jeremy Grant for like the number 30th pick, but they didn't understand the other layers to that deal. We're going to eventually net you Jalen Duren. So that type of stuff matters. So I'm sitting here trying to believe maybe there's something more to this.
I get it. Yeah.
It's a tough one, man.
Yeah, we're waiting to fully understand what is exactly going on with this move. If there's more, if there's not. Me speaking just for being in a player in a league, kind of understanding sometimes the energy is gone. Sometimes players don't want to be in a space. This could have been a situation where Jaden Ivey went to front office. He could have went to trade and said, hey, look.
It's just time.
I really appreciate the opportunity to play for the Detroit Pistons, man. I love it here. My family is from here. Like my father, like all those things. And you guys gave me a great opportunity. I just don't feel like I have a role here. Yeah. I don't believe like I fit here. And I believe what you guys are doing is something special. I don't want to take away from that.
That's really
And I
good.
think what's best is if you could find a space to move me and get me to a spot that won't hurt you per se, if you could do something like that, I would be extremely appreciated. Because that kind of could make sense for when a move like this that you don't understand, especially with a team that how many trades, how many mock situations have we created in the span of the last month? And this is far and far and beyond.
That's a really good point, Braylon. And maybe that's exactly we didn't know that about Matthew Stafford until after the fact.
Braylon, this is the trade you didn't need.
Wait a minute, is
you
that
did not need Jaden Ivey?
Is that Anson Wells?
You did not need Jaden Ivey to go get Kevin Huerter, okay? So that does tell me one of two things, or maybe both. First and foremost, I think you're right. And when you look at Jaden Ivey, this is a guy that his first 3 years, he averaged over 15 points a game. Only one time did you ever see Huerter do that, and it was his first year in Sacramento. Ivey's so much more of a dynamic player. You have control with him, but as Kool-Aid reference, this is a guy that hasn't exactly fit in this year, but he's still coming back from injury. Right. To me, I think you can get into this deal with that $14 million trade exception to get Huerter on his own. You don't have to give up Ivey. Now, they're looking at some big bills this offseason because you didn't go and extend Duren when you should have. So maybe there's an aspect of that as well. But to me, this just screams the second
the bill
part
goes up
is
since
they
he
are
made the
still
All-Star
not
team.
done. Okay? This team absolutely sees themselves in a position to win a championship. And that's why they're willing to give up a long-term asset in Ivey to get a specialized player in Kevin Huerter. And listen, if you've watched the Pistons play the Bulls, Huerter's been a thorn in our side all the time. The guy's a scrappy player who hits open threes. But I think the Pistons at this point, when you make this tiny wake, it's not a splash. Yeah. This is a tiny wake trade that's really going to piss off more Pistons fans than it's going to excite them. They have to double down. They got to go get the big four, the 3D, Bobby Portis, use that $14 million trade exception because the Kobe White, that's the bull I thought we were going to get. That's the bull I was excited about. But the Red Rocket, he's in town, man. We got ourselves a ginger, a new one in Detroit. Welcome, Kevin Huerter, man.
15 points and 20 points in the first two games against Detroit, so he has scored well. But I appreciate that every time.
Ginger's been mentioned.
Every time somebody says that, though, to me, I always say, but they're not playing. Just because they're a Piston killer or a Tigers killer doesn't mean you go acquire them. Sure, so, but what you said, if they see what you said there is interesting because you said this team sees itself as an opportunity to win an NBA championship. Do you think this puts them over the top at winning that NBA title?
No, by no means. Okay. By no means. I mean, I've seen
so if they
Ivy
see
save
that,
us in some games recently.
So if they see that, if this team sees that, why this move?
Honestly, I'm really leaning towards Braylon's way. Like, he's a guy that he knows. I mean, he's not going to wear 23 over in Chicago. We know that, but he's going to get minutes and he's going to get a chance to really get a payday.
I feel like we're in this space because it just happened. Like, it just happened, and we can't make heads or tails of the situation. So now we're trying to, we're plucking at things, and we're trying to throw things at the dartboard to see what sticks. We don't know. Yeah. And
we all did the same thing with Drew Petzing. It's okay to speculate.
This is true. And what happened with that? They added another offensive coordinator to figure that thing out, to kind of give it some balance. So to that, maybe we're waiting for that finale of the trade deadline.
And that's where I'm at, too, because what did we all say when they announced Mike Kafka? A name that we talked about on this show several times before the hiring of Petzing. All of us were like, well, if they would have just did that first and then brought in Petzing, we would have been good. So I do believe
that just hired Kafka, it would have been cool.
Yeah.
Realistically.
That's a sneaky jab, right? That's a sneaky one.
I wasn't trying to talk about Fester. I was just more so saying.
What if they don't make another move?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we've all said that they are, as currently constructed, we believe that they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals and be a team that can represent the East. And so I know to start the season, Jalen Duren let us in that J.B. Bickerstaff said this is a special team. He sees that this team can go far. But
what's Cleveland over there?
What if they don't? That's the question. What if I know what they said before. It's special and all that stuff. That's great. It's all kumbaya, okay? We're sitting around the campfire. But I'm talking about what if they don't make another move?
Hit some threes, Shep.
Well, if they don't, then they do what the 2024 Detroit Lions do, which is lose leverage. Like, that's what happens. If they don't make another move, if it doesn't work out, then what the Pistons have in terms of being ahead of the league, being ahead of the East, being ahead in the front office, being ahead in terms of roster, the money and all that, they now become behind, or they now become even with the pack. And when you're even, when you've been ahead, you're now losing. That's what happens.
I hate this trade, man. I hate it. I hate this trade.
Why should this surprise us when really the Pistons tried to give us every inclination
that nothing was happening,
that we weren't going to make a major move?
Well, and
we didn't. And let's face it, all of us said you don't necessarily need to upset the proverbial apple cart. You like the connectivity on this team. You like the togetherness. You like the way they play on the floor with one another. So why should it bother anybody?
Kool-Aid, they should have just signed Malik Beasley. They could have just signed Malik Beasley if you needed that other three-point shooter. And that's coming from me.
Well, but here's the problem with that.
But Anson's never been on the Malik Beasley train, so when him saying that, it's
that's
I get
deep.
what he's saying.
Okay. That's
deep.
I get it too.
That's actually deep.
But the next time he hosts a show with you or Neil and Malik Beasley doesn't hit the last shot of the game, he'll be saying, you know what happened? He was betting on the game. And
Sure, but I didn't give a bivy to find out.
He'll be calling him a leak peasant.
We miss you, buddy.
Here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. Everybody who's a Pistons fan will be monitoring Jaden Ivey from this day forward.
Yeah,
and he's right in the division too. Like,
but that's par for the course for the Detroit Pistons. How many Pistons can we name that we gave up too early, whether we needed to or didn't need to, that we gave up too early and went on to be all-stars, went on to be hella
Chris
players?
Middleton.
He's one of the
Shout out
first.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie for sure.
Dennis Dembo. Oh, never mind. Yeah, no, I mean, those guys for sure. Chris Middleton.
Great.
But that's what I was getting at earlier is like, they said this in the beginning of the season, and I felt like you, Shep, like, all teams think they're special. When you're sitting at the trade deadline and you are bludgeoning teams where they are, even when they have bad shooting nights, they have 12 losses on the year to this point. I wonder if they really do believe in what they're saying. Sure. Now, we heard this from the Tigers and the Lions, too. This is effectively the we're good if they don't do anything. But the Pistons, to this point, have surprised even the most ardent fans. And so I do wonder how much of this is them saying, yeah, we got enough right now.
Who's a better three-point shooter this year?
Who?
Jaden Ivey, 37%. Kevin Huerter, 31%.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Ivy, he shoots. I don't know if you're going for Horter's couple threes a game.
In fairness, Huerter for his career is 37%. In fairness.
Ivy shot
Ivy's
41% last
career.
year, and he shot 36% from behind the arc the year before that.
Yeah. You don't have to convince me. Here's what this tells me, too. Not just do they like their starters, they like their roster, they like their players.
Hanson's crying.
This is what it tells me. I mean, they think they can win it all.
They do.
Yeah.
And they can.
And if they don't feel that, and they didn't address what they were supposed to, then they've opened themselves up really wide for criticism.
This is one part of a two-part deal.
It is one part of a two-part deal, but I
think so.
I want to see. Let's say it doesn't. Let's go back what Shep said a minute ago. Let's say it doesn't. Nothing else happens, and this is the move. Like, they believe in this defense. They believe in the identity. They believe that what we do, no other team does, except maybe the team that we'll have to see when it's all said and done. They play defense. They play at both ends of the court. There's no selfishness in them. It's selfless basketball. It's listening to J.B. Bickerstaff. It's buying into what we've created. Like, no teams don't play like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking, when I watch basketball, teams, just through my eyes, teams don't play like that. You see a bunch of individuals playing a team game individually. Mm-hmm. And then you see them try to figure it out. 7.5 left in the fourth. Mm-hmm. Let's come together collectively and try to figure out if we can win this game. It's not the Pistons. Like, you're gonna punk a lot of teams playing the way you do. Like New York, just look at New York. Everybody keeps saying New York. You brought that up. What is New York gonna do in the playoffs? What are they gonna do down the stretch? What are they gonna do with Cat Williams? What are they gonna do with a coach they don't believe in? What are they gonna do with their main players don't play defense? Like, is that gonna be a team we have to worry about? Not this year.
I don't know. They've won 6 in a row, man.
It's the regular season.
Well, okay. What else can I base it on? I mean, if people in New York right now, I talked to a friend of mine in New York, they're impressed with the Pistons, but they said the same thing to me. They go, well, it's just the regular season, Shep. And I said, well, what am I supposed to use then? Or do I have to go back to last year and use the playoff series to tell you guys are better than us? Us, I use, obviously it's Pistons. And I said, I don't think so. This is a different Piston team. Everybody tells us this is team whatever, team whatever number it is. You played on team different numbers at Michigan. I don't care if it's the regular season. I'm going to glean something out of what the regular season is. New York was being bludgeoned. Dallas at home, getting booed off the floor. They've won 6 in a row. And they're going to make a move. They're going to do something.
They're saying that they're happy. and that they may not. And the fact is
The
unless
Knicks
they
are
make
saying
a
that?
major
That would stun me.
splash,
That would stun me.
that's what there's.
The
That's
Knicks
what's coming out in New
the
York.
Knicks are saying that?
But they're peasants, so we know that they don't know how to run a franchise. 53 years, but listen, the peasants have no bench. They're 6, maybe 7 deep. If you want to consider McBride a true playoff player,
Yeah.
that's their problem. If they get into a 6-game, 7-game series in the second, third round, they're not going to be able to match up with a team like the Pistons that are as deep as they are. At least in my opinion.
get
Tremendous starting 5, but I don't see them being a problem.
I
To me, it's
don't
Boston
worry
still.
about how deep. I don't worry about how deep. If my team, all I need is, as far as I'm concerned, 8 or 9 guys.
And that number 2,
They don't even have 8.
And that number 2 guy better be able to score 30 when your number 1 guy's struggling.
Exactly.
And they have that.
You
That's
go back
fact.
to
They
last
do have
year's
that.
playoffs. This is
And
the one
who?
thing to
New
consider.
York.
There's
I'm talking about
offense.
the Pistons now.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah.
There's another deal happening.
And they don't have. Is it fair to say they don't have that guy?
Nah. No, not 100%. Because it's one of those deals where you have guys that can get you 25, but it's a hope.
Yeah.
Like if I tell Jalen Durant before the game, yeah, look, tonight I need you to go out there and get 28. Like I'm telling him to get 28. I'm hoping he's going to get 28, but I don't know where he's going to fall. Like if I tell Tobias, I need you to give me 28 tonight. I'm hoping Tobias can give me that 28. Like Cade is the only guy I say, I need 28. Cade's going to get you 28.
Trade deadline deja vu in Detroit today, man.
like all our
this
teams,
feels like all the other deals. Let's just do something small. Pistons got their edge rusher.
I will say I'm happy. That was actually pretty good.
That was good.
I'm actually just happy though that our 4 teams in this city are in this conversation.
Yeah,
The last 2 years, all 4 of them are in this conversation. And to be honest, all 4 of them have been number 1 at this time in this conversation within the last year and a half. That is light years from where we were just a couple years ago. Every once in a while, I got to bring people back to the forefront.
Yep. I get it.
Some dark days in the city.
I wonder, Kool-Aid, how are people feeling about this in the chat?
54% of the people say no. They don't approve of this deal. But I've seen some people like our guy Dante151 who he likes it. $10 super chase. His people are saying the Pistons were stupid in trading Ivy to the Bulls, and yet I've been telling them that Ivy has done nothing this year for Detroit. Also, I can't wait for the heavyweight show now because Easy is been somebody that's been called enough. This is not a fit in terms of Ivy and Cade in the backcourt. So I know people are looking forward to the heavyweights in their coverage of this too.
And
Charles
Dante, real quick.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid has your poster in his trunk. He says he's bringing it in after the show. I promise you. Where
Shout
you
out
at,
to
Kool-Aid?
Cade Cunningham with the slam poster. And Charles says if we got a pick and at least a minimum or lower player plus trade, he says that he thinks it's a good trade for the Pistons. But it was a pick swap, so they didn't just get a pick. If they got a pick from this, then
the Pistons are getting
okay.
a 2026 first-round protected swap from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay? That's part of the deal. according to
2027.
So that means their
2026.
pick has to go out
this
and then
year.
Minnesota's coming
This year, first-round pick from Minnesota, but it's protected. I don't know how far it's protected. Usually those are top
Like lottery.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, or top, maybe a little bit more.
But the people largely
Probably protected, maybe, but I think they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would think. Minnesota? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah, it'd be like a top.
Could be the
percentage, like
difference
8,
between
9,
a 29 pick and picking 21 though. And at that point, you got yourself a draft day deal where you're not necessarily taking that guy, but now you've got some salary open.
So
Or
my
now
Or you take,
re-signing-
or you
up a
take a
few picks in
European
the
and,
first.
and stash him.
and you're not signing Ivy at this point. We know that.
Right, but
We
you're
don't
not
have-
signing. You're not signing Herter either.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is a lot of Pistons fans, we had this money set aside for both Duran and Ivy to re-sign this offseason.
Yes.
So now you have all this about close to $25 million,
They got-
$26 million that's going to free up. You've got this trade exception, which they still may not use. And then now you've got a little bit of a better pick so that the Pistons are players in the trade market leading up to the draft.
Yeah, but remember this, and this was part of the issue with the Lions too at the trade deadline. People felt like they had money, right? And they did. They had money, and they didn't use it. People feel like the Pistons have money, and they haven't used it.
Yeah. They're going to use it on Jalen Durham, my
Yeah,
friend.
and not just Jalen Duran. You look
Well,
at
but that's afterwards. I'm talking about the here and now. Is all I'm saying. Like we can say that about the Lions too. They're going to use that on Jack Campbell. They may use that on Brian Branch or Jahmyr Gibbs or Sam Laporta, right? They're going to use that. That doesn't help you now, though, right?
No.
That's the point.
I'm not a fan.
If we're going to use that example for the Lions, does it not make sense to use a similar example for the Pistons in their situation? That's all I'm asking.
Definitely, but they do.
Yeah.
I think Dennis Jenkins was a contract as well that they.
I'm sorry.
weren't-
What was
Dennis
it?
Jenkins.
Dennis Jenkins. That was a contract as well. I don't think that they were expecting to have to
Good point.
pay, and he did just reject the 2-year deal that they put on the table
'Cause he can make more money.
They got a few more
Yeah.
players that have to pay, and Isaiah Stewart's deal comes up very, very soon too. So it's a notion of, do they really believe how special their team is? Because it looks like right now they are shading towards making sure that stuff long term is available for those guys both this offseason. Because is Dennis a part of your regular rotation? Is he your backup guard? Is he playing the Schroeder role? Then he's going to get a little bit of a bump, and he should get those minutes as well, a little bit more consistently than he has gotten.
It's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put him as
feel
a
you.
Dennis Schroeder role. No. I got to be honest with you. I thought Marcus Sasser would be more of an impact player. And
His contract is up.
He is an impact player when he gets on the court. The guy lights up. He's instant offense.
He has to get paid too. He's another one.
Yeah, I mean, but he's not getting out there. Dennis Jenkins taking a lot of his minutes.
I'd rather see him out there. Now, I like Jenkins' athletic ability and length on the defensive side. He's scrappy.
And that's why Sasser doesn't play.
Yep.
It's the defensive side.
100%.
Right.
Can we just put those two guys' game into one, please?
Very, very interesting day, man. I mean, it was
deja vu, man.
This is not what I expected at all.
A lot of Pistons news too. Just side note, Jalen Duren did agree to join the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
And Asar Thompson, Eastern Conference Defensive Player of the Month for games played in January.
So this is what we love, right? There are certain guys on this team you didn't want touched. One is obvious. But you didn't want to I'm not saying that they're untouchable, but guys like Jalen Duren, you wanted to keep Isaiah Stewart, Asar Thompson.
Who wanted to keep Isaiah Stewart?
So not you. I didn't mean to look at you.
I said he had the one good game, but don't go crazy.
I should have looked at Kool-Aid since he wants to keep them all.
There we go.
But basically, there are certain guys you didn't want touched.
No.
That has not happened yet because most people thought if there's going to be somebody moved, it would be Jaden Ivey and or Tobias Harris with draft picks. Well, one guy has been moved. So the question is, do Pistons fans feel like they got proper value in return?
One more to come, Shep. One more to come.
The trade deadline is 2 days away.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Okay. So this is a big week, man. The trade deadline is Thursday.
That's
Tomorrow
interesting.
we find out whether Scooble or the Tigers win their arbitration hearing.
Yeah.
And then Friday is, the lead up to the
so
Super
it's a
Bowl
hot
in a big
week
way.
from out of nowhere.
I don't like that Jalen Duren's in the slam dunk contest.
The Thompson twins should be in the dunk contest. I would watch that.
Agreed on
Hold
that. I'm
I
not
want
a,
to hear your take.
I'm not a
for real.
fan of this.
No, hold it after the break. I want to hear that because we
Not a
talked
fan.
about the dunk contest.
Not a fan.
Can they make it exciting and
Not a
things?
fan.
This
Not
is
a
intriguing to me a little bit, but I don't know what to
No,
expect.
it's not.
If he weren't wearing a Pistons uniform, it would not be intriguing.
True.
He's speaking
Hey, young boy, athletic. Jump
Thompson
out the
twins
gym.
would save it.
I hate to tell you, there's a lot of young boys who are athletic in the NBA right now.
I don't like it.
Braylon, the
Okay,
twins in
well,
the finals, you'd
told-
be watching. The
No.
twins in the finals, you'd be
Yeah, I
watching.
know. I'm talking, but I'm not talking about the twins. I'm
They're
not talking
not
about.
in it.
I'm not talking about
I know.
A-Man and Asar.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's get
talking
this. I know
about
you wanna
Jalen
say it.
Duren.
Yeah.
Just-
All right, we'll get to that. I want your thoughts on
Boo!
it. Okay, boo. Boo, says Braylon Edwards. Boo. He says yay. He gives a high five for Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning, proudly serving Metro Detroit over 40 years with reliable service and treating customers like family. With winter getting another 6 weeks, that's what that damn groundhog said. Now's the perfect time to schedule regular maintenance. Keep your heating system running safely and efficiently all season long. How do you do that? With dependable service, 734-238-3805, 734-238-3805, or head on over to their website, SharonsHeating.com.
Woodward Sports and Jack's Car Wash are partnered up to hook you up with a free car wash. Just text WSN to 888-522-1729. Again, this is the #1 car wash in the state. With over 40 locations, it's the car wash for you, man. Free vacuums, free compressed air, free mat cleaning rooms, and the whole nine. But that's what the unlimited plan. So you got to sign up for that. $29.99 a month, and it is worth it. I promise you. You definitely can get car wash in the winter. It does not matter. Jack's Car Wash. Sign up today.
Big injury Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
If you are looking to take your relaxation to the next level, I'm just fine, I know you are. So scan that QR code to get a jump on this info. You got to visit the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It's the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. Features top tier brands like Infinity and Osaki. Again, that's Infinity and Osaki. You're going to need to know those names when you go to book your visit. Experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation. Is probably your best bet.
You know it's the best bet, and get your bets in because tonight is the MVP matchup. Joker versus Cade. Pistons with a Jaden Ivey-less squad. Get your bets in though. Any bet up to $1,000. If you lose, you get that back. It does sound crazy, but all you gotta do, scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000. If that bet doesn't hit, you'll get the deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, $1,000. Minimum bet, $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
And we bet.
I bet I would have bet $1,000 Karis LeVert wouldn't be here, so I'm gonna ask Caesars, can I have my money back? Because he's still on the roster. 1,000. Jalen Doran, as it relates, welcome back to the Braylon Show. We appreciate you guys for tuning in all the time. As you heard, breaking news: the Pistons. They moved Jaden Ivey and they received 2 picks in the process. 2 players in the process. But we were talking about Jalen Duren in the dunk contest. I'm just not a big fan of it. Just not a big fan of it. And this is why I don't like the big power forwards that get in the dunk contest and look goofy. And like low key, it's kind of like the running joke. Like JaVale McGee was a goofy. Like look what his career turned into after the dunk contest. Look at Dwight Howard, who was Mr. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year and all the things he was with the Atlanta Magic. The dunk contest, he turns into a goofball. Andre Drummond. This is what this reminds me of. Another one. You got him in the dunk contest. People laughing at, making jokes at, and then the career goes backwards.
Oh man, I remember
I just
that.
believe that when they get into the dunk contest, it opens them up for different things. Be in the paint. Play in the paint. I don't need him in the dunk contest.
Here's what scares me a little bit. To your point. I mean, some big guys. Not
goofy,
that these guys are always big guys, but Zach LaVine got hurt. Dwight Howard got hurt. Kenny Walker got hurt. Yeah, Skywalker. Jason Richardson got hurt. Paul George has gotten hurt. I get that the league needs participants. Well, so does the Pro Bowl, and all these guys are turning them down. So I would prefer my guy not to be in it.
Yeah, that's a little selfish though, Shep. Because I guarantee you, at some point you were the same one. Like, man, why isn't LeBron James in the dunk contest? Why isn't this guy in the dunk contest? I guarantee you. You love what NBA was, where your stars in the league participating in slam dunk contest.
I didn't say I wasn't a hypocrite. I'm absolutely being a hypocrite.
Fair. That's fair.
If my guy's in a three-point contest, fine.
I wouldn't mind if my guy was in the dunk contest if my guy was a dunker. Like, for the most part, like, if my guy was, like you said, when Anson was there, he's talking about Sar Thompson, like, sure, if Sar Thompson's in it, he's the guy, sure, go ahead. This is what they do, it's no problem. Okay. But my guy's not necessarily a dunker by trade. Like, Jalen Duren is not somewhere practicing moves and dunks that he's going to do in the game, windmill this, 360 this, between the legs, reverse opposite. Like, that's not what he's doing in his spare time.
Yeah.
So I don't like that because that's when players get hurt. When you're doing something you don't typically do.
I want to make sure we are keeping people engaged in the chat, and I want to make sure they're getting heard. So I want to make sure that Kool-Aid is giving us all that and more. Just maybe before we move on, what if it was Kobe White coming to Detroit?
I would have liked that.
Would that have made things a little bit better for you?
I would have liked that. I know Kobe White's a player. You see the skill set. He's not the guy that's going to come here and be that off-ball scorer or that complimentary scorer to K, but I thought that he would have been a lot more substance than what they did get back. I understand Herter and the three-point shooting and freeing up space.
Would it surprise you if I told you he makes as many three-pointers per game as Kevin Herter?
Who, Kobe White?
Yeah.
I think Kobe White's a more dynamic player, though. I think he's a better defender as well.
That's my point. That's why I would have, if you would have told me.
He's the same shooter.
Yeah. If you would have told me that the trade was Jaden Ivey for Kobe White, I'm okay.
And they were trying to trade him.
I can handle that.
Is that what?
I'm all for that.
They were looking for a first-round pick.
Would they have done that deal?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Because I can't imagine that Trajan Langdon didn't do the best deal that he could.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
With Jaden Ivey.
I have great confidence in Trajan Langdon. No question.
As it relates to the Bulls.
And with Michael Blackstone there in their front office, they do things as it relates to that cap. They're looking at how the money's laying, and that's why when I heard, okay, the two players coming in, they have effectively expiring contracts. Jaden Ivey's cap hold was going to be ridiculous. You go to the offseason with Jaden Ivey, that cap hold is going to be like enormous for a former number 5 overall pick. So I just feel like they probably searched and searched. There might have been better deals, but it might have gutted certain components of their team, and that's kind of what I'm picking up right now.
And I wonder how much that prevented them from doing other deals with other teams. Maybe other teams saw that, and that's a red flag for them. The easy thing for us, I mean, that's good knowledge, Kool-Aid. The easy thing for us is to say, you know what? Why not trade him for this guy? All you're getting is Kevin Herter, and we gave the stats. Why wouldn't you package him in a deal for this, that, and the other? And maybe other teams are going, hold on a second, man. There's a reason the the reason the Pistons are a little concerned. If that's the case, then you know what? I'm concerned too. And this is maybe the best they could do.
Felt like that value around the league for Jaden Ivey probably was just a little bit lower than we all wanted it to be. You look at
how
some
surprising
of the
is that?
and such.
That's not surprising to you, Bray?
No, because when I watched it, I just had a conversation last week where I told you guys, like, when I see Jay Ivey, I still see that same guy that lost to, once again, I can't remember what the team was, in the Final Four. It looks like a guy trying to find
Furman or whatever.
Yeah, 100%, trying to find a spot, trying to figure it out.
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Fairleigh Dickinson. And since he's come back to the Pistons this year, it's been him trying to fit, trying to find. He doesn't necessarily look confident, and then the Pistons don't look confident in him. So when I look at that, if I'm a GM or if I'm a scout scouting this player that we're going to bring in for a trade, and I'm going to have to trade some firepower for
with an enormous cap,
100%. And this is what I'm watching on the court. I'm like, yeah, he's a good player, and there may be something there, but I don't feel the need that we need him right now. I don't feel the need that we need him for this. Like, if they want to do this, and I will offer a lower tier deal and see what we can make happen. I think that's what happened in the rooms that they went to. They got the lower tier deals, and they said, well, you know, we're not interested in said deal.
Is it unfair for me to think that this was perhaps addition by subtraction, that maybe they needed to move on from him because there's a little bit of a heavy cloud over it and a constant discussion over it? This satisfies that and moves on. Somebody in the chat said Ivy's hurt every year. That's not true. Let's not be hyperbolic, okay? First 2 years, 74 and 77 games played, okay? Last 2 years, yes, all right? And one probably carried over from the other. So fair enough. But let's not go crazy and say, well, this guy's all he does is injured. He's been as healthy in the first 2 years of his contract or first 2 years of his career as he's been injured in the last 2 years.
This is true. And then you mix that in, mix the injury side of it in with the 4 years, mix that in with you've only seen him play well twice. You saw it once in college and you see it once last year before he got hurt. Like, if you're just looking at a snapshot, there's 2 times. There was when he got drafted, and then there was last year before what? Before he was injured and was out the rest of the season. That's so just looking at it from that standpoint, it's
which is really too bad.
1,000%. You know,
I mean, when you look at that, at the time, he's averaging 17.5 points and shooting like 46% from the floor. You had a guy like that. If you had that guy, you would not be talking about trading him. You'd be talking about an integral piece to your championship building roster. But perhaps it's because not just the injury last year, but because how he hasn't responded to missing that much time this year. And let's face it, there are other guys who've just passed him by, right?
And at the end of the day, there are other things, other circumstances going on that people don't understand, and that's why I made the comment that I did. Maybe they just wanted to move him because maybe he needed to be moved.
Yeah.
Maybe that conversation.
No, I love that thought.
Like I'm bogged down here. Like I'm suffocating. Like I can't get out of my own head. I can't be my best version. Like I don't want to hurt you guys. Like
Yeah, he's not the first player to. I mean, Adam Thielen did that earlier this year in the NFL. Can you move me? And what did they do? They moved on, right? They got him to what do you go, Buffalo? He got to Buffalo? Is that where he went?
No, it's Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
Made some big catches, too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, ask the Lions.
Anything else in the chat that you want to make sure we highlight before we hit a break here, Kool-Aid?
Yeah, definitely. And I see there's some people who believe that Kevin Huerter is a sharpshooter, and he's had those ups and downs. I guess this year I've seen, throughout the career, he's been a decent shooter on volume, but over the last 4 or 5 years, it's been kind of up and down for him. So it'll be interesting. But
where's he been? Not to cut you off, Kool-Aid, outside of Chicago. Where's the last couple of stops for Kevin Huerter?
Oh yeah, Atlanta is probably where a lot of people will remember him. That's where I remember him being actually a decent shooter.
Okay, let's stop right there.
Since then, nah.
Atlanta,
that was in the beginning of his career.
True, Atlanta, and then now Chicago at the end. Those are not franchises that you win in. Those aren't franchises that you evolve and get better. Those are franchises, especially Atlanta, that you like. All right, let me just get some points. Let me not become the best version of myself, especially in Chicago. Chicago has been like floating this line of mediocrity over the last 4 or 5 years where we're right there, but we're not.
So just so people are clear on the sharp shooting aspect, and sometimes what has our friend always told us? Statistics sometimes don't tell the whole story, and I don't disagree with that. All right. This year, he's making 1.5 threes a game. Right.
31%.
Okay.
Yeah.
At 31.5%. Right. Last year, he made a career-high 2.7 threes per game.
Mm-hmm.
The year before, 1.5. The year before, 2. The year before, 2. He is not, for his career now,
consistent.
He makes 2 triples a game. That is not a sharpshooter, okay? That's not Steph Curry. That's not Ray Allen. That's not Larry Bird.
That's not even Malik.
Okay, that's not Malik Beasley.
Is that even Duncan?
Okay, that's not even Duncan Robinson. You're right about that. Okay, he's made 70 triples this year. Yeah. Now maybe I'm getting too caught up in the threes. Okay, so reel me in if you so choose. But if you're describing a guy as a sharpshooter, give me a sharpshooter. Isn't that part of the reason? In all fairness, is that not part of the reason they brought in Duncan Robinson?
Yeah, Derek White's a sharpshooter.
Okay.
Yes, that's
a good one.
Yeah,
that's a really good.
That's a good.
I like that. And I like Derek White a lot. How can you not? I mean, when he's representing the country and doing what he does.
Don't bring up the trades now.
Okay.
Remember when it was floated last year?
Okay.
White and Ivy.
Yeah. So Derek White last year made 3.5 triples a game. Yeah. This year he's making 3 triples a game. If you're going to look at a sharpshooter and it's Derek White this year has made 133, almost twice as many threes as Kevin Huerter. Yeah. There's your sharpshooter. So that's all I'm.
Power stat.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Just when you're going to describe this guy, will keep you honest, and he will probably fit into the rhythm of this offense. Come in and spell. Listen. Karis LeVert has not been the addition that everybody would hope he would be. He's going to be out again tonight. They say because of illness. So
this is the 8th game that he would miss from illness. Just throwing it out there. I wonder what this illness is.
He gets injured a lot, and he seems to miss quite a bit of time.
These girls, you got to be careful, Karis.
Yeah. Okay.
Just jokes.
All right, quick timeout. More on the Braylon Edwards Show after this from Dr. Pierce and our good friends at Buddies.
Dr. Pierce, trust the name. We do. Because we love Dr. Pierce and all the things that he can do. He is the injury insider. He can diagnose all your injuries. I talked about it all the time. It doesn't matter. Neck, back, knee, ankle, calf. It does not matter. He will take a look at you and he will get you the help that you need. Call him at 248-426-9944. His staff is on deck and they're waiting. Or scan the QR code above my head, Michigan Sports and Spine. Or you can catch him on Big D Energy as well as the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, where he gives us the insights about athletes that are injured and what it looks like in terms of their recovery process. Jeff Pierce.
Hey, Buddy's Pizza is celebrating 80 years of the original Detroit-style pizza and is grateful to be your hometown favorite. Follow them on their social channels and make sure you go to their website, buddiespizza.com, to find the nearest location for you and get their catering menu. That menu is packed with favorites like the award-winning pizza, like signature salads, like home-style pastas, and a whole lot more. Here's what else is the beauty of it with the catering. You go to Buddy's Catering, you're going to save 20% on your next catering order of $200 or more when you order with the promo code Woodward20. That's Woodward20. Get to Buddy's today and experience the best pizza in Michigan.
Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
No one gives gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got
This guy's got a hot girl. Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Black Rock Bar and Grill, it's still a sizzle above the rest. Looking for dinner plans at Sizzle? Look no further. In fact, rock this Valentine's Day with the hottest steakhouse around. The only thing hotter than your date is the steak on the stone. Bring your loved one for a night to remember this Valentine's Day. But check this out, though. You might want to call ahead and get your reservations because seating will be a priority. And don't forget, if you mention that 20%, if you mention Woodward Sports, you will get 20% off your food bill. That goes a long way towards that fun Valentine's Day dinner you got planned. Pull up on Black Rock Bar and Grill. We'll make it memorable.
Seating's a priority here at Lady Jane's, too. It is. I mean, when you come in, you sign in, and before you know it, you're in a chair. It could be one that is decorated with a Pistons logo or a Lions logo or a Tigers or a Red Wings, whatever it may be. Here's what we know you're going to get. You're going to get a hell of a haircut. You're going to head out looking sharp and looking handsome. You may not be handsome coming in, but you're really handsome when you leave. Come on into Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
And we back.
And we back.
And we are
Let's
back.
go.
I read something. Dave Burkett's a friend of ours. He's going to join
Shout out Dave.
Friday.
He's going to join the Braylon Edwards show on Friday.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Had a really good article in the Free Press. And it kind of caught my eye. It started with this. Jared Goff has had only casual conversations so far with Drew Petzing. I immediately thought of you and said, if you get a new coach, is it unique in this situation where Goff has only had casual conversations with him? Or would you be calling him to talk more intimately about your team's offense and how you'd like to be used at this time?
It depends on, it's two players and it's two types of coaches. It's the coordinator and it's the quarterback and it's the linebacker. The green dot on both, green dot for the defense and the guy calling the plays. Those are the guys. You hire a new defensive coordinator. If I'm the linebacker, I need to get with you ASAP. I need to see what your thought process, what are your ideologies, what are your schemes, what are you calling? What is your interest level? Like, where do you see me? I want to sit down and learn so that I can start building, so we can start building this thing out together. And there is no more important relationship than the offensive coordinator and the quarterback. So if I find out that we got a new offensive coordinator, I'm the quarterback, I want to get with this guy. I want to get on the phone. Hey, look, let's sit down and talk. I know the season just ended. I don't have to get to you in person. Like, I don't have to fly out to Detroit. I don't have to come to Allen Park. I can be wherever the hell I'm at, probably L.A. or somewhere else with his wife and, his son. Like, do all those things. I can FaceTime you and find out and get on the same page. Hey, look, let's do an hour a day. Let's do 30 minutes every other day or something like that, just to get a sense of who you're. So him saying casually, that doesn't make, especially what came next.
Okay,
doesn't make sense.
That was surprising to me. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Dave asked him about the playbook and the relationship.
Not to cut you off, we get in Cleveland when we got Rob Tudzinski, who was like the first offensive coordinator we got that they sold me on. Like
Came from Boston College,
100%.
right?
All the other Miami. I think he went to University of Miami and then Boston College and et cetera. But everybody else was from within. He was the first one. He said, "Hey, Braylon, look, you're gonna love him. He was here. He was there. This is what he brings." I actually drove from Detroit. I mean, it wasn't far. I drove from Detroit to Cleveland and stayed a whole week, just kind of going in and kind of learning, actually working out a little bit since I was there. But I was intrigued, and I was a wide receiver. I'm not a quarterback, and I drove down there to see him. So yeah,
It was that important to you?
yeah,
Okay.
it worked out.
Not that
for
it's
a
not
year.
not that we're saying it's not important to Jared Goff. It's just I found it to be a little bizarre that the way it was described was a casual conversation rather than something else. And look, at some point in the offseason, he said they're going to get together. They're going to dig into reshaping the playbook, which is great. Okay, not from the ground up, he says, but they're going to dig into it. Later on, the conversation turns to, what do you think of the hire? Goff's response, in quotes, a home run hire, which to me is borderline laughable. If you're only having casual conversations with this guy and you didn't know a lot about him before, and members of your team like Amon-Ra St. Brown has to Wikipedia check him to find out who he was, how is it a home run hire so far?
So this is why I responded the way I did. You went out of order in terms of my thought. No, not that. My thought process. I responded, and what I know the rest of that conversation was. The reason why I said, I would drive down there is because I knew the part about the casual side. You can't say both. It can't be casual conversation and then by the same token say home run hire. The casual conversation I can understand. Hey, look, man, we'll do install, we'll get game planning, we'll figure the schematics out down the road. Right now, I just want to get to know you. Who's Jared Goff? That conversation is cool. But in that span, I don't know if you're a home run hire. Like I haven't sat down. I don't know what you do. Like, I don't care that you're nice. I don't care that you have the same interests that I have. I don't care that your wife and my wife like the same things. What I care about is, do you know this book?
Right.
What does it look like when I'm behind center this season?
How are you going to put me in better positions than other players?
1,000%. So until I can find that out, then I can say a home run hire. This is nothing more than players speak, being nice, and I get it, defending as you should. It is what it is, but I'm not taking anything serious out of this because there's no way that he knows that this is a home run hire as of yet. What I do know is that Petzing and Dan Campbell got the same agent. I know that.
Oh.
I don't know what that means. But I remember playing for the Cleveland Browns, and Phil Savage was our GM.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Savage had the same agent as a lot of Oklahoma Sooner players. We drafted a lot of Oklahoma Sooner players. Only one of them stayed on the roster the entirety of the time that I was there, but I digress. I just say that to say there's a commonality right there. Same agent. I don't know what that means.
That's fascinating.
That's interesting.
It's truthful.
Oh, I believe you. I'm just saying, it's fascinating. It's the first I've heard of that.
Same agent. So.
Well, I found that to be rather
home run.
I thought that was a little bit of a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And maybe Jared Goff is. Remember, he said a lot of positive things about John Morton when John Morton was brought in.
Jared's not gonna blow any smoke.
Right. Well,
that's not what he does.
When you talk a certain way about John Morton in a positive way, okay, and then it doesn't work out, especially since he threw his offensive line under the bus after the Washington game. Morton,
yeah,
not
100%,
right?
Yeah,
and now you get this as a home run hire. I'm trying to find the ground that I'm willing to, or at least the faith that I'm ready to leap toward with Jared Goff's comments about offensive coordinators.
See, the Lions still aren't in the phase where they're honest as players at the podium, and that typically doesn't happen into two things.
Okay.
Either one, you win it all.
Right.
Once you win it all, like you get to the podium and be like, yeah, hey, look, Travis out there, Travis out there dropping passes today. I mean, he'll be better. You don't care anymore because at this point, it's like, I don't feel this way about you, but you got to step your bleep up.
Yeah.
Like, or it's off the rails. Once it's off the rails, then you get people to come to
Philadelphia?
100%.
Okay.
Then you get people that's like, man, what's going on? I don't know, you should ask your quarterback.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like, that's what those are the only two times. And right now, the Lions aren't in that phase. They're in the phase where we can blame last year on the offensive line and the offensive coordinator that was and all the injuries yet again. 2 years ago, best record in football. 3 years ago, went to the NFC Championship. So they're still in this wave. Now, after this season, one or the other happens, then you'll see that change, and they'll be honest. Because right now, I'm tired of the lies at the podium. Like, everybody's on the same coach speak. Like, this is a remnant of kind of like Bill Belichick. Like, when Bill was the head coach for the New England Patriots, and they would interview Vrabel or McGinnis or Bruschi or name a player, you're getting the same answers that you asked Bill Belichick.
You're right.
Here with the Lions, you're going to get the same answers as Dan Campbell, which I respect.
Yeah. Now you're getting Willie McGinnis come out and say, hell.
You saw that?
Yeah. It was good. It was
played
really good. If we cheated, we won 8 Super Bowls.
Willie beat up a player.
He's a good player, man.
He's a really good player.
Yeah.
When he got to us, his back was messed up. He had the back surgeries in Cleveland, but he still was like my big homie OG from when I did the Best Damn Sports Show. But, man, he beat up this lineman that we had. I was like, Nat, don't fight him. I said, don't fight him. They went out there and fought, and like grown men do.
It was ugly, huh?
It was bad.
Where did he go to college? Where's
USC.
USC.
What made it so bad, I forgot he's in the Big Ten now. What made it so bad is this was Saturday. You know what happens during the season on Saturday. If you're away game, you travel.
Yeah.
So the guy had to travel, and he had a knot on his eye, and the lip was beat up.
Ooh.
I remember talking.
What precipitated that?
They had gotten into it kind of like all week, and it was the other guy was a younger guy, and he just
feeling his oats a little bit.
100%, and they got into it in the locker room a couple times, and then they were in the locker room, and Willie said, "I'm gonna take the shower. If you still mouthing, so we're gonna handle this like some grown men." And he came back from the shower, they was still mouthing. They put on the pants, went outside, pop, 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 pop. But it's a fast.
Did you follow them outside?
Hell yeah!
Everybody watched it.
The best thing about the story though is Romeo Crennel, ladies and gentlemen, comes downstairs to break this fight up. Had on a wife beater. Like, this is Romeo Crennel we talking about.
Crennel?
Yes, Romeo Crennel. You got a little bit, little
It's a
picture
good
for the
story.
pussy.
It's a good story.
So he has on the wife beater. I never saw Romeo, first of all, run. First of all, ever run. Second of all, I've never seen Romeo move this fast. He was coming down the hallway. He gets down there, pushes the door open, because I was like in the hallway. Like I let them have outside, but I was like one of the first ones in the window. So he gets past it, get out of it. So he gets outside and grabs, hey, man, what the hell is going on? I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. Like this is my second year in the league. I'm like, this is what's going on. So after that, he broke it down. He was mad at all of us. Like we didn't get in trouble, but they did. I don't know what the fine was. Nat wasn't on the team the next week. And then I was like, Willie, why you have to do him like that? Hey, cuz it's principle.
I hate to say this, but you know what I'm doing right
now.
now.
LA kid. He a Compton guy. You trying to look up who it was?
Yeah. You're like, this is my second year in the league, so I'm going to all this. So we'll see if we can.
I'll tell you what his name was out there.
Yeah.
It's Nat Dorsey at the end of the day. I mean, you 6'7", 340, you should be able to fight.
Amen. He may be a little bit slower.
True, but he got beat up.
Yeah.
Also, Willie is like.
Although Willie's a big dude.
He's
too.
an OG from Compton too, though. Like this is a little different. Like that's a little different.
That's really good.
It's like being from that's East Mile.
All right. Speaking of football, let's shift gears here. Robert Kraft is not going to get into the Hall of Fame. All right.
Man.
The owner of the New England Patriots.
What was the Bill Polian stroke on that one?
Yeah. Where was the Bill Polian
stroke?
Right. So Robert Kraft is not going to get in there.
Yeah.
I think he will get in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about owners being in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think it's justified.
Hell
Depends.
yeah.
So Adam Schefter broke this. Not selected into entry in this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame class. The class of 2026 will be revealed Thursday. NFL in San Francisco, but will not include the New England owner. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm trying to think. One, Jerry Jones is in, and he got in 2000.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is in.
He got in 2017, and his last Super Bowl would have been 95. So, all right, I was doing the math in my head on that. See how big the difference between 2 years. So we'll have to wait that long. He's got. At the end of the day, I think if you're talking about first ballot Hall of Famer, I think he can get in first ballot over Bill Belichick. I don't think it matters for either one of them. They're going to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're complaining about one over the other, I think Robert Kraft's deal probably becomes a little more impressive. I know that sounds crazy, but I think it is because he won in New England before Bill Belichick got there.
Mm-hmm.
He won with Bill Belichick, and now since Bill Belichick, he got rid of him, and second year after getting rid of him, he's back in the Super Bowl. And everybody talks about, the record and the schedule and this, that, and the third. He spent $300 million this offseason trying to make sure that this thing was going in the right way and drafted the right guy.
Who do you think had more of an impact in their championships years? Bill Belichick or Robert Kraft? Or is that the wrong way in your mind to look at it?
Wrong way to look at it.
Okay.
Because, I hired you. I have faith in you. I chose you. I chose you over your boy, your mentor. I chose you over him. I wanted you. I wanted you to be the guy. I created this whole sham with the Jets to get you, to keep him there. Talking about Bill Parcells, ladies and gentlemen. I was good before. They went to the Super Bowl before he was ever the coach. Went to the Super Bowl. They had success with him, obviously. 6 rings.
I'm sorry. In which reference are you referring when New England went to the Super Bowl? Are you talking about 85?
No, 90.
Okay. Oh, 90.
90.
Before Belichick was the head coach?
They went with Belichick.
Oh,
no, not Belichick. They went with Parcells. They lost to the Green Bay Packers.
Right. Okay.
So I'm saying I went to the Super Bowl before you existed. You came here, obviously bought me 6 rings. I appreciate all that. You left, and now I'm back in the Super Bowl. Because what did I do in the offseason? I hired the right coach. I mean, it was an easy hire to make. I still hired him. I helped draft the quarterback.
Yeah.
Paid everybody in the offseason last year after we were poop. And now here we are back in the Super Bowl with an opportunity to win. I just look at it that way. Like Bill Belichick. Tom left. Tom won another Super Bowl. So if we're arguing who should get in first ballot, one or the other, I can make the case for Kraft. But, I mean, it's Belichick. It's the imprint. It's all that they tell us. It's the New York Giants and all the things he did. And he was great with the defense. And he was so good at manipulating. He also cheated.
Yeah. 96. So you're right.
96.
96. Yeah, he was with the Giants in 90. Yeah. That's where he won the Super Bowl. AFC champions in 96 with the Pats. Good.
I think at the end of the day, let's just say the cheating is a deal. Because whenever we hear they didn't get in, the only thing they bring up is the cheating.
That's where everybody's mind goes, I think, right? Or the spa.
Right.
Sorry.
If you're not going to get in, if you're still getting into the NFL Hall of Fame, which in my opinion is the most prestigious, I know you'll go with Cooperstown, which probably is, but I play football.
All of them, yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
So, Ken, if you're still going to get in and you have to wait a year or two because of a penalty, because we're penalizing you from cheating without penalizing you from cheating, we're making too much.
Well, let's get this straight though. They did penalize them from cheating. They did take away draft picks, and they did fine them.
They did, but if you're gonna tell me somebody cheated out loud and we all know about it, and I'm penalizing them by not allowing them to go in as a first ballot Hall of Famer because once again you did cheat, then it's fair.
Okay.
Because once again, Tom Brady will come up at some point.
But he's going in.
Is he going to be first ballot?
Absolutely.
The cheating scandal was three. They had 3 cheating scandals. One of them was solely his.
The Deflategate.
Now,
You know what you're talking about? Which I don't know how you felt about it.
What I felt about it is if the rules say one thing, we got to stop arguing against the rules. It's just like somebody. It's just like somebody getting pulled over on the freeway, and you tell the cop, "Hey, look, I was only going 75." Young man that says 70.
Right. Yeah. I hope you're not getting pulled over 5 miles over, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah, no, you're right. They ain't catching me. No, I think it's an excellent point. My thing was Deflategate. Was it really that big of a deal? If it's not that big of a deal, why is it a rule?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm with you on that.
No, I don't think, to your point, I don't think it was, but it goes back to that part. Because but
you know Brady's going in.
I do.
Okay.
And
first ballot.
I hope he does. I played against him. He deserves it. I don't care if they were 9 pounds. It doesn't matter. Like Tom was Tom, but I think that's what it is. It's not going to be said out loud. It's the quiet part. I'll be damned if we let you in first ballot.
Brandon Beane was not quiet recently.
He's an idiot.
The Bills' president of football operations, who got a bump despite not drafting one Pro Bowler just 2 Pro Bowlers out of 56 draft picks since drafting Josh Allen, James Cook, and Dawson Knox. And failed Buffalo, gets a bump.
He took a bump before he made this comment.
Correct. And here's what he said via Built in Buffalo. F the outside noise. I'm not going to regret my choosing someone to appease the outside. In other words, I'm not going to let the fans decide who the next coach is going to be. It's got to be what's best for the organization. Look, I don't disagree with that. It's how you craft, no pun intended, your message to your fan base.
Well done.
That's a very dangerous way of going about it. I think.
This is a very slippery slope, and what that slope is the GM now is a face. Like, it's always been a face, but now a little bit different in this era where everybody wants to hear from the president, the front office, the GMs, what's going on, the trades. They all usually around. They hiring of a head coach, quarterbacks, etc. They're more popular now. So now once Les Snead goes out publicly and say F them picks, I'm not saying what he said, but F them picks, like he said that in a spot where everybody's looking at him. Everybody's watching him. He's at the podium. He's now making this a character. The GM role is now becoming a character, and that's what they're doing. They're becoming, let me get out here. Let me be a superstar. Let me be a personality. That's what this is. There's no reason for a GM to use 5 F-bombs. Like, at the end of the day, I'm for players cursing because I played. Like, I understand the passions of being on I understand the passions of being on the battlefield. I understand the passions of having to get interviewed by a punk-ass reporter right after I drop a pass in a most grilling spot of all time. I gotta come to that podium and say, you know what? Blah, 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 blah. There's emotions that come with that. Even coaches, there's emotions that come with that. Yeah, you a GM, sit tight. You just got a promotion, you got a bump in pay. Like, legitimately for not being good at your job.
Right.
Why are you mad at people? Why are you cursing? Talking about F the outside, F this, F that, F you, F me. Like, why are you doing all that? Because you don't believe you should have got that bump. Yeah. Now you're trying to defend your owner giving you a bump in pay and firing Sean McDermott. Right. You're trying to show, no, this is me.
That's good.
I'm here. I'm supposed to be here. Look, you don't have to lobby for yourself.
Amen. I'm not a fan at all.
You don't have to do all that.
You don't have to.
You're here. You got the job.
Now, I agree 100% with everything you just said. Brad Holmes doesn't do this. We don't give him extra credit for it. Okay? So I don't know in the end how it matters. What matters is if they win. I feel, this is just an outside, I'm not close to Buffalo. I don't know anybody, right? But I feel this is starting to spiral in a way that organization is either embarrassed or it could end badly for a lot of people there.
Also, too, the other quote that he used, when you use, like, he has one piece, he has one point that he can hang his hat on, and I don't even believe it's his to hang, but it's his to be called, and he used it. When you say, I did all that, and I drafted Josh Allen. You saw that quote? Where he said,
I did not see that from him.
He basically said, I was the one to draft Josh Allen, talking about not paying attention to what people say, because they didn't believe in Josh Allen. They didn't think that he was a player. He said, but I didn't listen to the outside noise. I still drafted Josh Allen. Did you ever
pat
scout
myself
Josh
on the back? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And when he says that, it's further letting me know, because you haven't brought anybody else in here of note, because you haven't brought any other Pro Bowlers in here that you can talk about, because we're sitting in a situation, you got to mention the one guy that's the guy.
Right.
Like, when you say stuff like that, girl, I know you.
If you got to sit there and give yourself compliments, that's a problem.
100%.
Okay, other people should be, laying flowers at your feet, not yourself.
Especially day 8 into a higher.
Yeah, and you don't have to be reminding people that you drafted Josh Allen 8 years ago.
They can just check the timeline and realize you were ridiculous. GM at the time, bozo.
There is some more breaking news in the NBA.
Yeah, it looks like the Boston Celtics want to get a little bit stronger in the paint.
Dude, what did we say? This is why we were gauging the Pistons trade, because what did we say? The teams that they're going to be vying for in the title are going to make moves. Here it is. Go.
Here's the details here. Yep, you saw that. You saw that. The Bulls trade star center Nikola Vucevic and a second-round pick to the Celtics for Anthony Simons and a second-round pick. Those are two players that I feel Pistons fans would have been like, you know what? I like the deal if they were in Pistons uniforms.
In the words of Mike Singletary, I like that kind of party. Yeah.
Celtics get a little better there.
Yeah. A little better.
Yeah, a lot better.
They're getting they're getting a double-double guy.
Cleveland is going to do.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a whole lot of chatter coming out of the 216.
Final timeout, and then we'll get to some super chats.
Can we?
Chaps.
Yeah, I don't need no chaps. Can we go back to? Can we go back to 2:45 when the Pistons hadn't made a move yet? Take the clock back. Take the clock back.
We'll get to that here in a moment. Right after this. Yeah, Vucevic.
Yeah,
that's a hell of it. Nikola
and the value,
meanwhile,
man.
our guy can't
great
shoot
value.
threes anymore.
Great value. All right, get this final break in.
It might be the value of an Ivy. That's what I think it is, but we'll talk about it.
Ivy League.
All right.
Chill so Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
And we back.
Okay, let's get to some super chats, or as I said just prior to the break, super chaps.
Yes, super chaps.
Some people are still a little chapped about the Pistons trade. What do we got in super chat heaven here?
Hey, you know, Michael Werry earlier in the show, he let us know that Pistons Jalen Duren joins the NBA Slam Dunk Contest. That's $2 super chat. Middle age, let me see here. Is this middle age sneaker chick?
She's great.
$5 super chat.
That's Miss Neutral.
Yep.
Even though I seen her outside the big house.
Oh, snap. Hey, I'm going to need you guys for this one today. All right? Hold on. She says, Woodward fam, it's my birthday.
Hey.
Number 54. Taking myself to the game today, too. I'll be on section 112, row 3. I hope to see y'all there. Happy birthday. Definitely, man. We're going to have to figure out.
Maybe she can get a picture with Kool-Aid and Braylon. That'd be outstanding.
Middle-aged sneaker chick, happy
birthday.
You know, it's cool,
Good
too.
for you.
We'll be at the game, myself, Kool-Aid, so we'll get a chance to take a picture, man, and do this in public, and then get the picture and see it in the chat. So hope this is it's the best one yet. Hope it's the best one yet.
Yeah, good for you. Happy birthday to you.
Appreciate that.
Anything else?
Yeah, we got about 4 left. Charles says you only get better when you get
baby.
pushed with
Shout
the $2 super chat. And Michael Werry, he said, y'all wanted moves? Well, it's started with the $2 super chat. Hey, the NBA is getting busy, and it's not even the actual deadline. Usually, these are the deals you start to see as you get closer to the deadline. So maybe the Pistons are setting something else up.
But this is what I appreciate about the people making these moves. They've seen what their roster was before the season, during the season, at this point. They didn't need to get to Friday. They didn't need to get to 5 o'clock. They knew what they needed. They knew what they want, and they got it ahead of time. Said, cool, boom, 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 boom. Here we are Wednesday.
They're sure of themselves.
I see
This front office.
If you could have one guy from the Bulls, who would it have been?
Michael Jordan.
I mean, I would say Dennis Rodman.
I'm sorry. I meant this current Bulls team.
I figured as much. Josh Giddey.
Yes, that would be my answer.
Josh Giddey for sure.
Yeah. Instead, it's going to be him and Jaden Ivey. All right.
Josh Giddey is like
and
this close to a
Simons
triple-double like almost every
I
year.
know.
The chat group, the Woodward group, is saying Ivey's back to the bench now that Anthony Simons is going to the Bulls.
I don't know. We'll see. I bet you he works his way in there.
I like Ivey.
I will. Yeah. I do not root for Chicago, but I will root for Jaden Ivey, except against Detroit. Just the individual.
Ice, I see. Ice gonna get it done. Sends in the
Ice
$1.99 super chases. Maybe.
Ice is a bad word these days. You gotta relax.
Yeah. I'm hoping he meant ice, baby. He says maybe they did that to flip the pick in a second move. It'll be interesting. It is a pick swap. It should gain the Pistons a few spots up in this coming draft because they're going to finish better than the
Not much,
T-Wolves.
though. Probably not much.
Not much. Let me see here. Spivey sends in a $5 super chat. I think it was a decent trade. We needed more reliable shooting.
Okay.
Just find it funny we're on the Ivy bandwagon. The GM didn't overvalue him.
Well, if you valued outside shooting, as Anson pointed out, Jaden Ivey shot better from deep than Kevin Huerter did.
He did this year and last year.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting one here too. And J-Rod Sayer sends in the $5 super chat. He says, I would love a full take from Shep and crew regarding the Tigers leaving FanDuel. Do we finally get a true Detroit sports network? Maybe sometime tomorrow if you need to expand on it, he says.
So what I love about that is he said from Shep and crew because he knew who to go to for this baseball talk.
Yeah.
Shep, tell me about FanDuel.
Well, it's not just baseball. It's hockey and basketball, right?
Yeah.
So they've already closed their doors at their offices in Southfield. So they were done. Well, that was a while back. Some people believe it'll be non-existent March 1st. However, you'll see the Pistons and the Red Wings fulfill their agreement with the network the rest of this season. The Tigers have obviously bagged out. They'll be on an MLB channel. It'll be produced by Major League Baseball and their broadcasting crew. They'll still use freelancers in this market. They'll find some type of channel on the various services that you can watch it, as well as the app, okay? And it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Wings and the Pistons, knowing that the Pistons obviously are separate ownership. So my hope is that the Pistons somehow find their way on a network that allows everybody to watch it. I mean, I miss free sports. I miss the old days of Channel 4, Channel 50, Channel 20, whatever it may be. Here's the problem, you guys. Yeah. There's nobody out there, NBC, ABC, Fox, they're not clearing all their programming for 162 days in baseball. They're not clearing their program for 82 games in hockey and 82 games in basketball. They're not doing that. They make too much money on scheduled programming and the advertising that surrounds it, the national advertising. So as much as I want to see it, and I want to see it for people for free, I hate the – but – oh, by the way, there go the Nuggets. But that's kind of what you're looking at.
Right? Tell them bring it over to Woodward Sports.
Yeah, they probably hear roast already.
Tell them over and bring it to Woodward Sports.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one more in here from Dante.
Wi-Fi is okay, but
sometimes the equipment malfunctions.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank goodness for KG. Go ahead.
Shout out KG, man. Dante 151 with the $4.99 super chat says, "Do you think teams were put off from the Ivy injured knee to where only one team was willing to trade for Ivy? I just have that feeling. Go Pistons. I believe more than one team might have been, but I also believe the values were different. Maybe people were trying to send back some of their junk in addition, because the Pistons, they are very clean. If you look underneath the Trajan Langdon era, all their moves have been very, very clean moves.
I think I overvalued Ivy. I mean, obviously I overvalued him.
I overvalued him.
Yeah, I think this is kind of the conversation that we hate, that Brad Holmes has a lot. And what does it say? He always goes, but you guys weren't privy to the moves. There was a lot of moves that we tried to make. It just didn't come down, and it came down to not the right fit, not the right player. And I think that could be GM speak for, they didn't want my moves and I didn't want theirs.
Right.
And I think that's what we're getting in so many words from this move is, look, they didn't want the deals that we were throwing out there, and this is the deal that we decided to do. And if this was the deal that they decided to do, then it goes back a long line to what I said. Ivy probably just wanted out, and they were trying to help them. Trajan seems like one of those good GMs that hey, look, you know what? We got you. Like, a lot of times you won't have GMs do that because they don't care about the player. They care about more so the machine. Trajan strikes me as one of those guys, you know, Ivy, I got you. Like, we're going to make sure to get you to another spot, a new start.
Me too.
Yeah.
And one of the many things I like about it.
So if the Pistons did this, if they took this as a hit for that reason, I've gained more respect for Trajan Langdon. And with that said, you better do something else.
Same.
Hey, you better do something else.
Hopefully we're talking,
two things can be true.
Hopefully we're talking about that tomorrow, and we're going to talk about the arbitration case.
Is that my truck? Oh, man, he stole my truck.
And we'll be talking more football with you on the Braylon Edwards Show tomorrow, 2 o'clock here on Woodward Sports. The heavyweights coming up a little bit later at 5. Thanks for watching.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it, right corner of the end zone. For Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.